stuck in the whole enlightenment pursuit. That's usually what happens to people. You get involved and attached in your ego to what state you're in and that you're above life. And for me, that is not at all the purpose. The purpose of it and the result that I have achieved with it is to find the spirit in the here and now, in the being, in the human experience. And this is, for me, really much more significant. That, we are dynamic stillness. So we are stillness, yes, we are that pure potential. But we are, and that's the transcendent. But if we forget about the dynamic, the energy unfolding and our life as such unfolding and the essence of the humanity in it all, then, we, in my opinion, lose contact with really what the great thing about this is. And I must say that practicing intensely with Rudi for 5 years, I was immensely impressed by him being a dynamic presence of raw life, raw human life, raw humanity displayed on a daily basis. He was in contact with the infinite at the core of himself, but he was also able to be right there with all the human aspects of pain and challenges, all of the things that we all encounter on a daily basis. So, to me, and he used to say, life is the real teacher. Life is the best teacher. Doesn't mean you can't have a teacher in this life, somebody who relates to you as I'm doing, but you can't get stuck in that. It is said that if you ever meet the Buddha, kill him. You don't want to get stuck on the Buddha. You don't want to get stuck on Rudi. You don't want to get stuck on any structure. You want to use the structure as a way to liberating yourself and really listen to life. What is your life telling you? And life, most of the time, is telling us to be quiet, listen, and make lemonade out of anything that we get served. So if you have things that are challenging, don't spend a minute wasting your time on analyzing and judging and wondering and why am I this, why. I saw once an interview with this guy. He must have been about my age or even older. And he had gotten terminal cancer. And they were interviewing him and he said, well, why me? Well, why me? Better question would be, how do I make the best out of whatever days I have to go? But, that's making, it's easy for me to say, easy for anybody to say. It's very difficult to live it. And I'm deeply committed to living it. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do in relation to your own experience. It's going to be full of challenges. It is full of challenges already. But it's also full of beauty and so much evidence of higher frequency, wisdom and compassion. You can feel it in yourself in various situations. And some of you are telling me some stories about your life that shows, that this is what your life is telling you. It is full of grace. It is full of blessings. But we have to be able to notice it. So, anyway, I wanted to tell one little story about Rudi, which was, I think, very fun. At the ashram in New York, we used to have a lot of seva, a lot of selfless service. We were just working on the properties and helping out as a way of really giving something back to the situation that we were gaining so much from. And so one day, a group of us were in one of Rudi's buildings. He owned several buildings there in Greenwich Village. And we're trying to install this monumental stairway. It was prefabricated stairway. And so there are, I think, 4 or 5 of us, and we're all struggling with it. We're moving it in place, back and forth, and it didn't fit. It did not fit. It was like, I don't know, maybe 2 centimeters too long and 1 centimeter too wide. And one guy who always was complaining about everything, he says, hell, it's never going to work. It's impossible. And just as he said that, Rudi came around the corner from his store and he says, don't you ever say it's impossible. And he was a big man. He was round, his waist was pretty big and heavy. So he jumps up into the air, high up in the air. I mean, I was like that. And then he crushes down on the bottom steps of this stairway. Boom, it falls into place and it suddenly fits. Then he smiles and he walks away and he teaches class 5 minutes later. I mean, it's incredible, And the 5 of us who were there, we just stood there with our mouths open. But this was the kind of presence that he was. He was fully human and full of surprises. He wasn't perfect, but he was full of surprises. So, I just encourage you to look for the lemonade in your own lives, even when it's really difficult.